Charlie and the band stand by the side of the highway, their thumbs up as cars drive quickly by. It isn't surprising no one stops with their strange attire and instrument cases. They look like a band of gypsies. Exterior desert highway continuous. Charlie and Hank walk together alongside a fence where horses are grazing. The horses approach Charlie and she strokes their noses. One horse nuzzles Charlie and Hank is charmed by her gentle way with animals.
Seems like she's taking a liking to you.
I used to ride. My horse was so gentle, never bucked.
Well, you have a way about you.
Then one day she got spooked, bucked me off like she didn't even know me. Mama said, you can't trust a horse or a man. Just when you think you know him, you don't.
Sounds like a hell of a lady.
I think you'd like her. Until you don't.
Yeah.
Why'd you name your band the Black-Eyed Susans?
Always like the flower. It's bright. Can't miss it.
Center's dark. Does it remind you of someone?
You know, you're what they call an old soul. Even the horse knows it.
They can live 10 days after they've been picked, and they grow anywhere. Shade, sun, even drought.
Yeah, maybe they know something we don't.
How to survive? Anyone can do that.
Harder for some than others.
So why'd you name the band after a flower, Hank?
I met a lady.
Now we're getting to the truth.
She was bright.
And dark?
She put up with me, and that's saying something.
Did you love her?
You sure do ask a lot of questions, young lady.
It's important.
Why? Why is some old geezer's sad song important to you?
'Cause I'm an old soul and I happen to like sad songs.
Well, my dear, like the flower, it's complicated.
I can take it.
Sometimes you're drawn to something you shouldn't be.
Hank hands Charlie his bouquet he's picked along the way of wildflowers.
Now, why don't you put this in water for me? Huh? I could use 10 days in the sunshine.
What was her name?
It wasn't Susan.
Charlie takes the flowers and inhales. We pan back to see father and daughter in an afternoon silhouette of sundown. Exterior desert highway, late afternoon. A car goes by and only Cash sticks out his thumb. He chases after the car angrily.
Come on.
See? Just like a little puppy chasing after cars.
Exterior campground night. The band stands incredulous next to a sign that says campground.
No, I don't sleep in the bushes like a common perro.
Wolf.
Cash and Charlie start setting up camp, draping blankets over trees. Exterior campground dusk. The camp is set and quite charming. Charlie has built a perfect fire and the band sits around it. Cash appears from a trailhead.
Look what I got.
Poison ivy?
Lyme disease.
There's a little store up the road.
Cash throws hot dogs and beer in front of the campers.
Where are the s'mores?
I didn't have enough.
Cash didn't have enough cash? We can't have guineas without s'mores. It's like an unwritten rule, mijo.
You want a weenie or not?
Yes, I want a weenie.
That's what she said.
It's like y'all stopped maturing at 12.
Weenie.
Charlie rolls her eyes and stabs her hot dog onto a stick. They cringe. Exterior campground night. The band sits around the fire, roasting dogs and drinking beer. Bruno grabs his guitar and plays a mariachi song from his childhood.
I'll sing the Spanish. And then you sing inferior English. Don't worry, I'll translate for you idiots. De la Sierra Morena, from Sierra Morena,
From Sierra Morena.
Cielito lindo, vienen bajando. Pretty darling, coming down.
Pretty
darling,
darling,
coming
coming
down.
down.
Un par de ojitos negros, cielito lindo de contrabando. Ay, 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 canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. And in inferior English, a pair of little black eyes, pretty darling, sneaking by. Ah, 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 ah. Sing and don't cry.
A
A pair
pair
of
of
little
little
black
black
eyes,
eyes,
pretty
pretty
darling,
darlings sneaking
sneaking
by.
Yeah.
Ah, 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 ah.
Sing
Sing
and
don't
don't
cry.
cry.
By singing, they get happy, pretty darling. Their hearts get happy. Ay, 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 ay.
By singing, they get happy. Pretty darling, their hearts get happy. I.
Ándale.
I never thought I liked mariachi, but you make it sound better.
Pretty sure that's racist.
Why does Mexican music sound like a polka?
No, wait, that is.
The Germans settled in Oaxaca. Don't they teach you that in the U.S.?
Only the white parts. Bruno's family was the mariachi band in Oaxaca.
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 Oh, the market.
Bruno was like Michael of the Jackson 5.
Michael left the band, and the Jacksons were never the same.
He liked country music better.
They never forgave me for it.
Could be worse. You could have been a Letizia.
Exterior campground later. Charlie stands over the sleeping campers in makeshift camps of blankets and instrument cases. Like a mother looking down on her silly sleeping children, she admires the peaceful scene. Hank joins her by the fire.
Well, you must have been a Girl Scout.
Never sold a single cookie. My mom and I camped a lot.
Betcha she's a smart lady.
Yeah.
And your daddy?
We did fine.
I see that.
Extreme close on the blue part of the fire. Begin flashback. Exterior farmhouse night. Charlie 5 stares into a campfire, holding a stick with a marshmallow on it. Her dad holds her hand, gently gliding the stick into the coals of the fire.
Now the trick is to get down to where the wood is the hottest without catching fire. Now you see how it's blue, it's so hot? Well, you have to be careful.
Charlie
Well,
pushes the stick into the fire.
Now you gone and done it.
Hank pulls the marshmallow out of the fire and blows it out. It's a black, ugly thing on a stick.
No, no harm done. We got more of those. We got more where those came from. The fire is a beautiful thing. We all want to get as close as we can. It pulls us in. It's so pretty. You can get in close, but not too close. You keep a distance even from pretty things. The flames will suck you in if you let them, but you're stronger than them.
Hank picks up a flask and drinks a long swig. End flashback. Exterior campground evening. Charlie looks away from the fire and directly into Hank's eyes.
You ever want something so bad and it's right there, right in front of you, but it's like reaching through fire?
I suppose.
Charlie drops her stick in the fire.
Did you get it?
Some ways I guess I did. Some.
A swig of coffee.
I wonder why the blue part's the hottest. Everything around it screams danger except the blue. Never made sense to me. Still doesn't.
They watch the fire until only the embers remain.
Well, don't let the bed bugs bite.
Hank gets up and goes to his makeshift tent.
And if they do, I'll stomp them with my shoe.
Charlie pours water over the fire as it hisses, sizzles, and slowly dies. Interior country bar night. This bar is yet another dive, a few people scattered here and there. Hank looks out into the crowd and spots Charlie sitting at the bar, sipping a beer, looking as if she could crawl inside the bottle. She would. When the bartender comes back, she instantly cheers and shines. There is a change on Hank's face. He sees something in her, something different. Exterior mechanic garage day. Charlie hands over the money to the mechanic and the band piles into the bus. Interior hotel lobby morning. The complimentary breakfast at the local hotel is getting a run for its money as the band devours pastries, bagels, and packets of cream cheese, filling thermoses with coffee. Patrons, like witnessing wolves tearing into their prey, cautiously take their breakfast to go.
Is that cream filled?
It could be. It could be cream filled.
You know how I feel about cream filled.
You may not have my cream filled donut.
But I don't like sprinkles.
Into everyone's life, a few sprinkles may fall.
I don't even know who you are anymore.
Boys, listen up. Don't know if you all have noticed, but we aren't exactly, well, rolling in the dough.
Dough nuts.
Yeah. Charlie brought up a good point a while back, and no one listened. Now, we're sitting in a crappy motel eating stale pastries. She's our manager, and she deserves better. Today, we're going shopping. Maybe some new duds will transform us from monkey to man.
Ooh. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Interior vintage clothing shop day. Series of shops. Charlie hands clothes over changing room doors. The men walk out of the dressing room and walk down the store like models on a runway, shaking their hips, pausing dramatically before turning. Charlie hands more clothing over the doors. The men walk out bored and pathetic. Charlie grabs more clothes, boots, and belts from racks. The men come out one by one. Charlie sends them back in.
Charlie,
Yeah?
I need some help.
Help?
I'm stuck
The door?
in my shirt.
You're stuck in your shirt?
Yeah. Hey, can you come in?
Charlie looks around to see if anyone's looking. They aren't, so she sneaks into the dressing room. It's a tight fit. Cash is in boxers and a very fitting shirt that he's tried pulling over his head without unbuttoning it. He looks like a pretzel.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not funny.
Charlie pulls his shirt back down and slowly unbuttons it. They are face to face. She looks up at him.
Is that better?
Almost.
Cash kisses Charlie. It's definitely not a puppy kiss. It's passionate, and Charlie is completely taken aback.
Y'all okay in there?
He was stuck.
My shirt was.
Charlie stumbles out of the room.
Y'all unstuck?
Exterior street day. The band saunters down the street in their new duds. Sexy music plays. They are a trendy mix of all their styles, but instead of everyone wearing their own style, each outfit incorporates every style. Cowboy, grunge, Mexican mariachi, country western, Johnny Cash. They're sexy and they know it. Interior bar night. The Black-Eyed Susans are playing to a moderate crowd at a bar that is somewhat nicer than the honky-tonks before. They look great in their new duds and their energy has changed. Not only has their look meshed into a new form, they have meshed. As their set finishes, the crowd erupts into applause. Interior new bar night. The band plays to an even rowdier crowd at a more trendy college bar. As the set ends, the crowd applauds in almost a frenzy. The band members look at each other like, what the hell just happened? Interior trendy bar night. An eclectic mix of college kids, country music aficionados, and artists listen in total awe to the band. Charlie at the bar notices the female bartender is completely overwhelmed and understaffed.
Reckon you could use some help?
Are you serious?
Serious as a Moscow mule stepping on a rusty nail.
Girl, I'd kiss you right now, but they'd enjoy it too much.
The bartender throws her an apron. Charlie wraps the apron around her waist, throws a white towel on her shoulder, and jumps right in. Interior trendy bar later, while drying glasses and serving drinks.
They're good.
Thanks.
Shouldn't be playing in this hole. Good.
It's not a hole.
Y'all should be at Austin Music Fest. We girls got to stick together.
She writes a number on a bar tab and hands it to Charlie.
I got a friend, actually old boyfriend, lover, whatever, who heads up the festival. You tell him Trixie says you're the real deal. He'll hook you up.
Thanks for this.
Trixie
Thanks for
motions to the clean bar.
Thanks for this.
Cash ends the set with a dramatic drum solo that crescendos and then gently tapers into silence. The crowd stands and will not stop applauding.
We got time for one more?
The crowd goes wild. The band starts playing another song. And we cut to exterior bus night. Charlie loads guitar cases into the compartment under the bus. Hank's case breaks up and a song entitled Black-Eyed Susan falls out. Charlie picks it up and puts it in her bag. Interior hip Nashville club night. The band plays for a hip country crowd. This is the test. This is Nashville. As they finish their set, the crowd is shell-shocked. There is a silence that seems to last for minutes and is broken by an empathetic and sudden applause and cheers. Hank looks almost cheery. Exterior hip Nashville club patio later. The band sits around a stone fire pit. They're drinking fancy drinks which look awkward in their big paws. Bruno raises his pinky while sipping his martini and Chet follows suit. Charlie looks around to each of them. She's arrived. She's finally a part of the band. Bruno hands Charlie his beer bottle to throw away. Well, maybe she's not totally a part of the band.
Y'all are doing my laundry from now on. You know that, don't you?
Interior bus night. Charlie is the only one awake. She reads Black-Eyed Susan by the light of her phone. The light dies and she pushes the button on her phone again. Series of shouts. Band walks out of a bar. The bus is loaded. The bus is unloaded. The band sets up at a large cowboy bar. The bus is loaded again. The band sets up at the infamous The Station Inn in Nashville. Interior bus night. Charlie and Cash sit in the back of the bus like little kids. They have a blanket covering them and the light of their phones serves as flashlights. They kiss.
How come Hank doesn't sing any of his own songs?
Too sad.
It's country music.
Said they're too sad for even country music. Okay.
I just never thought there could be any song too sad for country. It's the saddest of all music next to the blues. But at least the blues lets you know it's sad because it's the blues. It states, hey, I'm sad, get ready for me.
Cash kisses her and she relaxes into him. Interior church basement, AA meeting day. Hank listens intently as we hear the murmured serenity prayer. Exterior church day. Door opens to bright light. We are blinded until we see a dark figure emerge. It's the man in black, Hank, who pinches his eyes to suppress tears or block the light. We're not sure. Interior laundromat day. The entire band folds and fluffs their own laundry. Charlie enters with her bag and drops it in front of Bruno.
Be sure to separate my whites, sugar butt, and if I come back and my skivvies are gray, you'll have something coming.
Charlie punches a fist into the laundry bag jokingly and grabs Ricky before leaving the men to their domestic duties. Interior laundromat. Moments later, Charlie re-enters the laundromat with a pleased as punch look on her face.
Oh, and when you're done with my laundry, y'all better start practicing for Austin Music Fest.
How in Floyd Kramer's name did you manage that?
I have my ways.
Cash looks more turned on than ever as he puts her underwear and bra down in the laundry basket like he's detonating a bomb. Charlie turns to Hank, who is still folding laundry like nothing has happened. Exterior laundromat day. Charlie and Ricky sit on a park bench eating ice cream. Ricky is teaching her sign language.
Music? I like that. It looks like the word, like how the word feels. Music. You. Me. Me. You. Me. Friends.
Right.
Friends. Looks like the word too. Two fingers, two people connected.
Exterior bus day. Charlie and Ricky stand at the bus. The band members bring fresh, folded laundry in bags and hand them to Charlie and Ricky.
Suckers.
What did he say?
I don't know sign language.
Charlie signs suckers back to Ricky as the band loads the bus. Exterior rest stop day. Charlie and Hank sit atop a picnic table. Charlie is sipping a PBR out of a can.
So how come you don't drink?
How come you do?
Touche.
It was too important.
Were you a drunk?
A low bottom drunk.
That doesn't sound good.
Isn't good. It's lost everything kind.
What'd you lose?
All of it.
Wife?
Yep.
House?
Yep.
Kids?
My wife couldn't.
Charlie takes a long swig of beer and looks out past the trees and park to the highway. Fade out. Begin flashback. Exterior farmhouse day. Charlie, 5 years old, sits on the porch plucking petals off of a black-eyed Susan. Shouts coming from inside. Muffled, angry. Charlie starts singing, louder and louder till she's almost shouting the verses.
Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer true. I'm half crazy over the love of you.
The screen door slams. It's Hank, beer in hand. He takes a big swig and stares down at Charlie. And Charlie stops singing. Hank takes the guitar away briskly. He's drunk and stumbles down the steps.
It's over.
Daddy.
Song's over.
Oh, won't be a stylish marriage since I can't afford a carriage. But you'd look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for two.
Charlie stares down at the now bald head of a black-eyed Susan. End flashback. Interior hotel room day. Charlie holds her guitar in her lap, a pick in her hand. She sings to herself, stops, and writes down the words. Exterior hotel room continuous. Cash walks by Charlie's door and hears her singing. He leans in closer and touches the door as if he were touching her. Her voice is not only melodious, it's the most beautiful sound he's ever heard. If he wasn't head over heels in love with her before, he is now. He knocks quietly. Interior hotel room continuous. Charlie opens the door to a sheepish and smitten Cash.
I knew you were Kitty Wells. You even have a last name to prove it.
Stop.
And a little Loretta Lynn.
Cash grabs her hand and closes the door with his boot. He leads her to the bed.
And a dash of Patsy.
Just a dash?
A smidge. A cup. A cup of Patsy.
And that's the recipe?
For Meg and Charlie.
Charlie climbs on top of Cash and lowers down to kiss him, close on their faces, hovering an inch away.
Sing.
I don't sing for anyone except my mama and an old bull named Kenny Chesney.
That's so hot. Sing for me.
I fall to pieces each time I see you again.
They kiss. Interior hotel room morning. Cash and Charlie are asleep. The guitar lay at the end of the bed like a sleeping dog. The peace is disturbed by a loud, frantic knocks at the door. Cash jumps out of the bed to get the door.
No.
Charlie wraps a bedsheet around herself and motions for Cash to go into the bathroom. He complies. Charlie opens the door to Chet and Bruno.
Hank is sick.
Muy enfermo.
Thanks for the Spanish translation.
It's bad, Charlie.
Where's Cash?
Well, how the hell would I know?
Cash steps out of the bathroom.
What's going on?
Oh, great. But where is he?
In bed.
Interior Hank's hotel room day. Charlie rushes in, her hair a mess, face flushed. Hank lies in bed looking pale and small.
Hank,
Sorry, kiddo.
you sound like a stuck pig.
I feel like one too.
Exterior Charlie's hotel room moments later. Bruno, Chet, and Cash sit on the bed. Charlie enters.
It's off.
What's off?
Austin Music Fest. I called Pete and he can't switch us to tomorrow night. And he said if we don't go in 5 hours, that's it. So that's it.
There's got to be something.
What do you want me to do? He's sick. Can't get honey from a rock.
I thought it was blood from a turnip.
Tomato.
Potato.
Do you two ever stop? Just leave me alone, please.
Bruno and Chet exit. Cash stays behind, but when Charlie gives him a look that means you too, he complies. Charlie picks up her guitar and slams it on the bed. The muffled sound of all the reverberated chords echoes in the room. Charlie pinches her eyes to hold back tears, and we hear a small knock at the door. Charlie opens it to find Hank looking miserable but standing.
I can do it.
No, you can't.
I can't abandon you.
Go back to bed, Hank.
I can't let you down.
You can. You did. Just go back to bed. I'll take care of it on my own. Always do.
Hank turns and walks away. Interior Austin bar later. Charlie sits at the bar with a whiskey in hand. She throws it back and the bartender looks equally impressed as he is concerned. Cash enters.
There you are. How many do you have?
10 fingers.
If you stop now, you'll be fine.
For what?
You're singing tonight.
12 fingers.
Look, I've heard you. You are the real thing, Charlie.
Voice of an angel, world under my fingertips. I only sing to mechanical bulls. Cash, you give me a mechanical bull, I'll sing.
Look, you can do this. All right, I know you can.
I stopped singing when I was 5. I told myself I could only do this with him. But the truth is, Cash, he doesn't even know me. He doesn't know me.
Who?
It doesn't matter.
Well, you said you were one of us.
Well, I'm not. I'm the one who takes your beer bottles and sets up the mic and does your laundry. That's me. That's it. That's all I am.
You won't do this for us? For me?
Song's over.
Cash turns and walks away. Charlie puts down her drink and exits through the alley door. As the sunlight hits her face, it is reminiscent of the first scene, but now she appears older, haggard, and tired. Exterior bar alley continuous. Charlie dials a number on her phone. We hear Nadine's voice on the other line.
Charlie? Charlie?
Mom?
Come home, honey.
Mom?
It's okay, honey. It's not the life for you.
How do you know?
Because I know you better than anyone. You're not cut out for this.
You don't think I can do it? You weren't scared for me. You just didn't think I had it in me.
You belong at home. There's nothing out there.
I am not like you, Mom. I am not scared. I am not going to stay in some stupid small town and call that a life. I'm brave. I'm fearless. Why didn't you leave? What were you afraid of? You know what I think? I think you're selfish. I think you want to keep me caged up at that stupid bar because that is all you care about. And you know what? The only brave thing you ever did was get on a mechanical bull and break your leg because some old drunk cowboy double dog dared you. It's pathetic. You're pathetic.
Charlie hangs up the phone. Cut to interior Austin bar hours later. Bruno, Chet, and Cash are at the bar when Charlie walks in. Her guitar case is on her shoulder and she is dressed like a country version of Janis Joplin. Cash, Chet, and Bruno turn around in awe. Cash nods in the direction of the center of the bar where a mechanical bull sits. Charlie is morose but determined.
He's no Kenny Chesney, but he'll do.
Interior Austin bar later. The band is set, a large crowd quiets and stares expectantly as Charlie enters center stage. She is a deer in headlights until her eyes meet the mechanical bull. Begin flashback. Interior honky-tonk past. Charlie, 5 years old, stands on a stage of a towny bar. Her father sits behind her with a guitar. She's terrified.
Remember what I told you, Charlotte. If you can sing to the bull, you can sing to anyone. Now take him by the horns.
Charlie starts to sing, and after just a few words, little Charlotte morphs into 25-year-old Charlie. End flash. Charlie starts to sing, and after just a few words, little Charlotte morphs into 25-year-old Charlie. End flashback.
Like a flower that never bloomed, its petals never tasted rain. Darling, I never held you or brushed away any tears that fell in pain. Too afraid of what I couldn't be, became nothing. Less than a life that never saw you dance in the sun. Less than a life spent pretending that you really weren't the one. I've spent my life singing something. I'm afraid now it was nothing. I'm just a song unsung.
We see a female bartender mid-pour who looks like she's about to cry. Hank is sitting in the shadows of the backstage with a look of surprise and awe. Interior Austin bar hours later. The band Sans Charlie is crowded into a booth, laughing and drinking. Charlie approaches looking dazed. She slaps a business card on the table and Bruno picks it up.
What's this?
Just someone who wants to represent us?
Are you serious?
Everyone clinks drinks and celebrates. Hank raises his glass. He looks proud, but not exactly celebratory. Exterior hotel pool night. Charlie dives into the pool. It's late and the hotel is quiet and dark, except for the blue light illuminating from the water. Underwater, Charlie is swimming the breaststroke, her face jubilant. She screams with joy, letting it all out. At the bottom of the pool, she suddenly realizes she also needs to breathe. We see her panic and swim to the surface as she takes a gulp of air. The breath is a strange wake-up call from joy. Cash is by the pool, in the dark, sitting in a lawn chair.
I found a spot in the shade.
Charlie climbs out of the water and drips over him for a kiss. He grabs her arm and leans her into the hot tub.
This is more my scene.
Are you spoiled?
A little.
Is Cash rich?
Hardly. My family is.
You have that look,
What look?
a laid-back confidence, something poor people can't fake. It's not a bad thing.
Sounds bad.
Can I tell you something big?
Cash kisses her.
Is that what you wanted to tell me?
You ever wanted something so bad you could just taste it, and then when it's actually a possibility, you're scared to death?
I love you. I was scared to death to say that.
It's like walking through fire.
Cass kisses her again.
If you walk through fast enough, it doesn't hurt as bad. It's like drumming. You can't think it. Just do it. Fast and loud.
They kiss again.
If you think too hard, it goes away.
When I was little, my daddy left us. Sounds like a country song, a cliche country song. He just up and left, just like that. I told my little self I wasn't singing for anyone till he came back.
But you did. Your dad wasn't there last night. You did that. That was you. You're the best I ever had, Charlie Wells. Whether you love me or not.
Yeah,
Voice of an angel.
world under my fingertips. I love you too.
Interior bar night. Hank is singing and Charlie plays the guitar, singing backup.
Charlie, when you gonna sing?
Y'all want to hear the song, huh?
The crowd applauds and hollers. Charlie takes the microphone and guitar from Hank and stands with confidence in front of the expecting crowd. Hank sits back in the shadows, his hands outstretched where the guitar used to be. Exterior church parking lot day. Hank emerges from an AA meeting. We see him from afar taking to other members smoking and sipping large sodas. He nods goodbye and walks down the sidewalk. Interior bar day. Hank enters the bar as the rest of the band is in the middle of practice.
Where were you? We've been working for an hour and you have the...
I had something I had to do.
Well, that's nice you told us because we had been... Well, that's nice you told us because we had to be here waiting for you. That's what we had to do.
Cool your britches.
This is the third time you've been late or haven't shown up at all. What in the hell's going on with you, Hank?
I went to a meeting.
What kind of a meeting?
You know, I'll do what I damn well please. This is my band.
Yeah. Do what you damn well please, Hank. Always do. Doesn't matter who you hurt, just take off.
Bruno comes over to Charlie and stands in front of her, blocking Hank. He gives her a stern but kind, drop it.
All right. We got to be in Mobile by 7. Let's pick up where we left off and hit the road in 20. Hank?
Hank picks up his guitar and starts to play without any joy. Interior bar later. The bar is empty, save the bartender. Charlie packs up equipment and places Hank's guitar in her lap. With pick in hand, she strums the first 3 chords he taught her. While strumming, she notices something inside the guitar.
You got a song.
Charlie holds up a lighter to the guitar. Inside the guitar, there's a picture of Charlotte as a little girl glued to the inside of Hank's guitar. She's posed in front of the farmhouse holding Hank's guitar. The photo's ripped as if it were in half of a larger picture. Fade out. Exterior bar day. Hank sits at the bar with a whiskey in front of him. He's contemplating. Charlie enters, realizing what's happening, and joins him. They sit for a while before acknowledging one another.
I'm not drinking, I'm just ordering.
There's a difference.
A world.
Rusty Nail. So you order, but you don't drink. Doesn't that defeat the purpose?
Serves the purpose.
Bartender hands Charlie a rusty nail.
You know, I knew a woman who loved rusty nails so much she needed a tetanus shot.
Black-eyed Sue. Cash said you don't write songs anymore because they're too sad.
Yeah, well, he talks too much. Reckon he's in love with you.
So whatever happened to Black-eyed Sue?
Couldn't have her.
Why?
Because I drink her up.
That old flower can survive anything, Hank. Sun, water, drought, she's...
I was already married, Charlie. Jesus, why am I telling you this?
I'm an old soul.
She was a wild flower. And exactly what I wanted.
Black-eyed Sue was wild?
Wasn't a dare she wouldn't take.
And if you double dog dared her?
Yeah. She could ride a bull like no woman I'd ever seen. She was
fearless.
We were supposed to leave, go on the road, take the bull by the horns, but
But what? Why didn't she go with you?
Why do you care so much? Getting sober is one thing. Staying sober is another.
Then why do it? Why don't you just go home?
Well, I don't have a home to go to.
Whose fault is that? So you go to these meetings and you feel sorry for yourself and cry with a bunch of strangers. Isn't one of those steps supposed to be about making amends?
I reckon.
So have you? What's the point? If that whiskey calls and you're too chicken to make amends, just answer. Just answer that whiskey and take a drink, Hank.
I'm sober for me, not for anybody else.
Well, good
Me.
for you.
That's all I have.
You mentioned that.
Charlie downs her drink and pinches the skin above her nose. Hank puts his whiskey down and does the same.
I thought making amends was about the other person, not you.
I like dives, Charlie. I like barely making it.
Sleeping on the bus,
Crappy motels,
old drunk cowboys,
small towns, and country roads.
no roots.
Nothing in the way.
No one in the way. Then you should have that again, Hank. Sorry I ruined the boys' club.
Charlie has heard enough. She gets up and on her way out.
Bus is leaving.
Hank puts the drink up to his mouth, breathes deeply into the whiskey, and puts it down. Interior bar night. Charlie sings to a large, gentrified crowd. There isn't a single cowboy or hooligan in the place. Charlie stares into the darkness of the bar to the well-dressed bartenders, the college students, hipster, and older wealthy patrons. She looks at the band who is literally in the shadows of the stage. Not one of them is lit. They are going through the motions as Hank is distracted, strumming sadly. Charlie sings under the bright spotlight, and we see her point of view as the vision fades into the light, to a soft blur of people and music. The song ends and everyone cheers and claps, a polite but generous applause.
Thank you. I think that's the last one, folks. Y'all drive safe.
We hear some groans from the crowd, but it's instantly squelched by the sounds of clinking glasses and the murmur of conversation and people moving on. Exterior hotel hallway night. Cash swipes a key card and opens the hotel room door. Charlie stands there, bags in hand, but hesitates before entering.
I'm tired.
I'll let you sleep for a little while.
Cash,
What's the matter?
I gotta get some shut-eye. Alone.
Did I do something?
No, you did everything just right. I'm just tired. Everything will be put back to place in the morning.
Cash does not look convinced, but cannot argue with that. He pulls Charlie near him and kisses her hard. She's on the verge of tears and has to turn away.
Good night, Cash.
Night, Miss Wells.
Charlie goes into the room and closes the door behind her. Cash stands there like a puppy locked out of the house. Exterior bus night later. Charlie enters the bus to leave a note, but is met by Ricky.
Yep. Can you give this to them?
Charlie holds out a note. Ricky takes the note and reads it. Charlie hugs Ricky tightly, kissing him on the cheek. Charlie starts to walk away, but Ricky stomps his foot on the ground to get her attention. Exterior city bus stop later. Charlie, with guitar case and bag in hand, boards a taxi. Act 3. Interior honky-tonk day. Light bursts through the darkened bar as we see the silhouette of Charlie staring the mechanical bull in the eyes.
Well, if it isn't Kenny Chesney. Did you miss me?
Rufus enters with a crate of glasses.
The prodigal sugar butt has come home. Jesus, hallelujah.
Is Mama mad?
Is Mama mad? Is Mama mad? She's just foaming at the mouth like a rabid raccoon, man. Nah, she's all right. Back to her crazy mobile self, too. Shoot, I think she's even faster than she was before. Now give me some, now give me some sugar, sugar butt. Say uncle.
Oh, auntie.
Uncle.
Auntie. Okay, uncle.
Nadine enters without Charlie or Rufus seeing her. All of a sudden, she's upon them. They both jump up like guilty children.
But she started it.
No, I don't doubt that. So the big star graces us with her presence. Did you find what you were looking for? Were the answers blowing in the wind? Just passing through or staying put?
Staying put.
Then grab a broom. That floor isn't going to sweep itself.
I just got here. I need a bath. And
I need a clean floor. I also need a hug.
I'm sorry.
No crime in sowing your wild oats, as long as you come back and reap the harvest. So here's your harvest.
Poet laureate of the honky-tonk.
Charlie drops her mop into the bucket and she's about to swash the floor. Cut to exterior farmhouse day. Charlie raises a hoe into the air and slams it deep into the earth. Creating a deep ridge, she pulls a seed packet out of her pocket and gently sprinkles the seeds into the soil. With her hand, she spreads the soil over the seeds until they are completely covered. She then looks up at the farmhouse and around her, accepting, and pours water over the ground. Interior farmhouse kitchen, night. Nadine dries the post-dinner dishes while Charlie looks through receipts and paperwork at the kitchen table. She enters figures into her laptop with a worried expression.
I know that look.
Mama, you haven't paid the mortgage at the bar in 3 months.
I paid some, just not all. The bank will cut us a little slack.
Yes, because banks are known for cutting people slack. I have enough to cover it, but we're not even breaking even now. What the hell is going on?
Yeah, I wasn't going to tell you. I didn't want to make you feel guilty for leaving me high and dry. But we had a girl who was taking home about half the register every night.
What? Mama?
Took us a little while to figure it out. I know, but
How could it take months to figure that out?
Because I'm not a world traveler like yourself. I trusted her.
It's fine. We'll figure something out. I'll figure something out.
Yeah, you always do. So how was it? The great big world. How was the great big world?
Big and great.
I'm serious.
I am too.
You ain't gonna tell me nothing?
Well, I'm kind of busy figuring out how in the hell you got us in such a hot mess in such a short amount of time.
What'd you think about your daddy?
He's a joke.
Don't be too harsh. That's my job.
He's sober.
Well, there is a first time for everything.
Been sober a long time, too.
Really?
Guess it was pretty stupid following him like that.
What did he say when you told him? Oh, you think that's fair?
Fair?
You didn't give him a chance, Shook.
You know what's not fair? Not fair is waiting by the door every day after school for your daddy to come home.
Okay, honey.
Not fair is feeling your whole life like something is wrong with you, that you're unlovable.
Honey, he did love you. He was just broken.
And married.
Charlie stares at her mother, waiting for an explanation, but it doesn't come. She gets up angrily and storms out the screen door. It slams shut. Exterior farmhouse night. Nadine stands there looking out at Charlie. Charlie walks down the road and Nadine follows her.
You gonna slow down?
I'm tired of sitting. I've been sitting too long.
I go too fast, I'm liable to break another leg.
What the hell were you thinking?
I was raising a child alone. That's what I was thinking.
Why would you be with him?
I don't know, okay? That's the big mystery. I don't know.
Great.
I never met anyone like him. I was too small town, and he was a tornado, and he just swept through one night and just tore down everything I'd ever known. He made me feel wild, like I could do anything, be anything.
I can't see you wild.
I was fearless.
You were gonna go with him? Why didn't you if you're so fearless? You were pregnant with me.
He didn't have a root system like one of those air plants. You know, can't grow in soil, likes to be high up, looking out, couldn't stay put. Not with her, not with me, and not even after.
You had me and I ruined your life.
Is that what you think? You think I regret you?
You could have traveled and left this hole in the ground. Had a real life, not mopping up after a bunch of old drunks.
Are you crazy? I got to be here every day of your life. I didn't miss out on 1 second of you. He did. I don't feel sorry for myself one bit. I feel sorry for him. He missed out. He lost. Not me. It's getting dark.
You are fearless.
And stupid, because those bastards, they walk hand in hand.
I don't know anything anymore. I left to find the answers and I've never been more lost.
No, you're not lost. You're home.
Interior Charlie's bedroom, night. Charlie takes down posters of her country music stars, not with haste, but with thoughtful deliberation. She pulls a big box from out of her closet and puts the posters inside. As she's about to put the box back in the closet, she notices a small box up on her shelf. She looks inquisitively at it and reaches up and pulls it down. Falls to the floor and a photo of her dad falls out. It's the other half of the photo that Hank has inside his guitar. Interior honky-tonk day. Only a few regulars occupy the bar seats. The place is dead. Even Kenny Chesney looks depressed.
Hey, sugar.
Hmm.
I didn't want to get your britches in a tizzy, but your mama hasn't paid me in a while.
What? Roof, I'm so sorry.
Well, I know business ain't exactly booming.
I ain't business.
I'm so sorry, Roof. I'll get you paid by the end of the day and then some.
Thanks, sugar.
I got your backside.
Girl, you better write another check to shut me up from that sexual harassment lawsuit I'm about to file too. I have witnesses.
I didn't see nothing.
Interior honky-tonk night later. The bar is abandoned except for Charlie. She places chairs atop the tables and listens to the radio play country music and singing along. Radio. Here's a little ditty from a band that's been getting a lot of attention lately. Here you go, folks, the Black-Eyed Susan. Charlie stops putting the chairs on tables and sits down. She sips a beer and listens intently. Interior Charlie's bedroom night. Charlie sits up in her bed with her guitar and papers streamed in front of her. She sings and strums, pausing to write down the chords.
I wanna come back as a flower, something that's tough like a weed. I'll never be sweet like a lily, There's too much fire in me. Black-eyed Susan, that's the flower for me.
Exterior downtown day. Charlie carries an armful of papers. At each light post, she hammers a poster that reads, Open Mic Night, Wednesdays at the Whiskey Barn. Everyone welcome, free lick a beer if you can sing a lick. Exterior honky-tonk night. A table is set at the entrance with a sign-up sheet. Charlie is instructing a group of young people where to sign. A large crowd is gathered behind. Nadine pokes her head out of the bar, amazed. Interior honky-tonk later. A young band plays in the background as Charlie, Nadine, and Rufus field drinks. When the band finishes their set, Charlie runs up to the mic like a pro.
That was the Twisted Britches Band. And if you like what you heard, they have CDs up here and you can take them home tonight. We all have a little twisted britches in our life. We all need a little twisted britches in our life. Oh, while our next band is getting set up, I'd like to encourage all of you to saunter up to the bar and visit our boy Rufus. He's not much to look at, but he pours a mean draw hooch. Ain't that right, Roof? Whatever you do, just don't ask him to sing. Our next act is the Crooked Kitty Whiskers. Let's give it up with some wild meows for this next band. They look like they're about ready to deliver 9 lives of some sweet country music. No hissing now.
The crowd hoots and meows and a few hisses in support. Charlie leaves the stage and joins Rufus and Nadine behind the bar.
Who are you?
Meow.
You really are a feral cat.
I knew you'd come through, sugar.
Exterior honky-tonk night. Charlie sits alone by a fire pit sipping a beer. A drunk patron staggers out of the bar and mumbles incomprehensibly.
Night, Charlie.
Charlie tips her beer to the man and stares into the fire at the bluest part of the flame. Begin flashback. Exterior farmhouse night. Charlotte, 5 years old, is roasting marshmallows in the flame of the fire. Hank comes up behind her and pulls her stick out of the fire.
Remember, not in the flames, Charlotte. Wait for the fire to die down. Otherwise, it burns up before you even have a chance.
Charlotte looks up. Hank is gone. She patiently waits with her stick and marshmallow outside the flame. End flashback, fade out, interior honky-tonk night. The place is jumping, packed with 20-somethings, regulars, and patrons in folk and country attire. A young singer finishes the last line of a folk song. Her backup singers are dressed like fairies. Charlie takes the mic.
Let's give a hand to the Willow Brooks and the fairies. Love the costumes.
Charlie looks out into the audience and takes in the eclectic crowd, the cowboys clapping for a group of girls dressed like fairies. As she scans the audience, the door opens and Hank walks in. Charlie sees him and suddenly gets brave.
I've got a little treat for y'all. Tonight, the act is yours truly.
The crowd claps enthusiastically. Rufus walks out from behind the bar and takes a seat right in front.
I know it's hard to believe that my talents go beyond pouring you drunkards beer, but here you all go.
Hank crosses to the bar and sits down, but does not turn to watch her, sips a soda, and stares straight ahead.
I wanna come back as a flower, something that's tough like a weed. I don't wanna be sweet like a lily. There's too much wild in me. Daisies will treat you friendly. Honey, I can be friendly too. But I'm dark in the middle like a black-eyed black-eyed Susan. That's the flower I'll be. So pretty to look on, but I'm strong like a weed. Black-eyed Susan, and I'll still face the sun Take the dark with the light for the rest of my life. Black-eyed Sue is the one.
Hank listens to the song, perplexed and impressed. Interior honky-tonk night later. The bar has cleared out and only a couple old cowboys remain. Rufus clears table. Hank is still sitting at the bar when Charlie enters from the back. Charlie is surprised Hank is still there. She starts cleaning glasses and neither one says anything for a while, just every once in a while looking in the other's direction.
Howdy.
Hey,
You sound good.
thanks.
Stealing my songs now.
Finders keepers. It's a good song. Figured someone ought to sing it.
So you're back to this now.
Yep.
Cash is sore. You never said goodbye. Maybe you could,
What are you doing here, Hank?
just passing through.
Well, you better get on your way then. I wouldn't want to keep you.
I'll be seeing you.
That him?
That's my daddy.
Rufus puts an arm around Charlie and she leans her head on his shoulder. Exterior farmhouse porch night. The house is completely dark. Only the light of the moon illuminates the porch. Charlie sits in the darkest corner sipping on a beer. A pickup truck pulls up and we see Hank step out. He pauses, taking in the house and surroundings. It's a long wait. Years of waiting in that moment before walking to the door. Charlie watches as he approaches. He can't see her, but she can see him. Hank stands at the door with his head down, contemplating whether to knock. He knocks gently and waits, but there's no answer. He knocks again and waits. No answer.
She's sleeping.
Hank jumps at the sound of her voice and stares into the darkness. He cannot make out her face and squints to make sense of the voice. Charlie steps into the light.
This your house?
My whole life.
I thought maybe. You're Charlotte. My Charlotte. All this time,
How could you not know?
you're all grown up.
Well, kids grow up, Hank, whether you stick around to see it or not.
I reckon they do.
What are you doing here?
I came to see you.
I stood here every day after school with my guitar waiting for you to come back. Every time a pickup came down the road, I ran out to see if it was you. Do you know how many damn pickups there are in this town, in Texas? Everything was hard when you left. It never became okay.
I thought you and your mama would move on.
You moved on. We waited. Time just stayed completely still.
I never deserved you or your mama. She knew that.
That is such a cop-out.
You're right. I was a jackass.
Still are.
Well, I'm here now.
And you should be going.
Well, tell your mama I came by.
I'll tell her you were just passing through.
You know, part of making amends is accepting that the other person may not accept the apology.
That's funny, because I never heard an apology, Hank.
I'm sorry for leaving. I'm sorry for all that you had to go through. I never stopped thinking about you, Charlotte. Charlie. Every day of my pathetic life, even when I was so drunk that I couldn't even remember my own name. I never forgot you.
The front door opens and Nadine comes out with her shotgun.
Don't shoot, Mama. It's just Daddy. What, boy, wouldn't that make a great country song? Write that down.
Hank?
I wouldn't blame you if you did want to shoot me.
I thought about it a few million times. You look like hell.
Well, you look good. You always did.
You know, sweet talking won't get you out of my line of fire.
You did a good job with her. She's exactly what I hoped she'd be.
Some days.
I'm right here.
You owe me a big favor, Hank.
I'm sure I do.
If you do it, I promise I won't shoot you this time.
Well, anything you want, ma'am.
I want you to take this girl away from her mama.
What are you talking about?
You think I don't see you moping around this house? Moping around the bar. I can't do nostalgia and you can't fake happy.
I'm sorry.
Nope, it's not for you. Never has been. Your laugh is bigger than wiping up spilt beer and singing to an old bull.
He has a name.
So what do you say? Can you take her off my hands?
You can't handle that bar by yourself, Mama.
That bar is not as important as you.
The bar isn't important? Mama, I think you've been dipping too deep into the moonshine.
I'm selling to Rufus. I'm thinking this old cow is out to pasture for good.
Old mule.
Hank?
It would be my privilege.
You're welcome to the couch, Hank, and we can settle everything in the morning.
Spent many a night on that couch.
Charlie follows her parents into their home. Interior honky-tonk night. Charlie and Hank share center stage, each with a guitar, as they sing a song unsung.
Like a flower that never bloomed, its petals never tasted rain. Darling, I never held you or brushed away any tears that fell in pain. Too afraid of what I couldn't be. I'm afraid I became nothing.
Interior bus night. Hank steps onto the bus and we see the band busy on their phones and tablets, heads down.
Listen up, boys. We've got some big changes in store.
The band looks up as Charlie boards the bus.
There's a new sheriff in town.
Cash's face lights up, but just as quickly it falls. Charlie walks up to him and he stands. Charlie grabs his shirt and pulls him into her, kissing him hard. The band hoots and hollers and the bus pulls away.
All right, that's enough. That's my daughter you're kissing.
Cash stops kissing her and looks at Charlie and then Hank quizzically, understanding the situation, and continues kissing Charlie again. As the bus pulls away onto the highway, we hear the gentle strumming of a guitar.
So I've been thinking about a new look for the band. As soon as we get into town, we're going shopping.
The camera pans through each Black-Eyed Sue member. Ricky drums a beat on the steering wheel while we see the road ahead. Bruno reads a letter from his family, looking through photos of their mariachi band and his niece's quinceañera. Chet reads a book about Floyd Kramer and listens to music. Hank looks out the window satisfied, maybe for the first time. The last shot is of Cash and Charlie in the back of the bus. They look at each other and then ahead. To the band, the bus, the road ahead, and everything that lies ahead. The end.